All right, to do checkpoint 2, you need to go to your year view and open up your project. From your project, you need to go to checkpoint 2, and you'll want to open up the checkpoint itself. Now, from the checkpoint, you can get to the document a couple different ways. One of them is to go over to the clipboard and open it. This will keep it in another tab, which is great. The other one is if you go back here, you can get to the original way by sliding down and clicking on it. Doesn't matter, either way works. You will want to have both the document or the checkpoint and the document available to you. You should have highlighted in class yesterday and then finished today the document as we went through, if you follow the directions. At this point, you're going to be selecting evidence and communicating accurately and precisely. Those are the skills that you're working on. And this shows you how to correctly and accurately put a quote in. So when you're using your quotes, you need to make sure that the first letter is capitalized. It's in quotation marks outside of that capital. If it ends in a period, you actually don't put the period in the quotation marks, which is different than how I learned it as a kid, but this is the newer version. You actually move the period after the parentheses. There should be end of quotation marks, a space, and then the author's name in parentheses. If there isn't an author, which sometimes there isn't, the name of the organization. So for us, we are doing the Treaty with the Macaw. So I have this here as an example of how you would correctly do it. Your quote in quotation marks, after the quotation mark, there's a space, parenthesis, Treaty with the Macaw, comma, 1855, end of parenthesis, period. So you are going to write in your own words what the Macaw people gave up, and then you are going to put evidence to prove that they had to give that up from the document. And it should be things that you have highlighted in here. And then you are going to be doing what they got to either keep or what they gained in the treaty and evidence over here. So again, this part must be in your own words. It should be incomplete sentences. So for instance, the Macaw people got to keep their ability to hunt whales. It would be an example. Or the Macaw people gained a certain amount of money. So I don't want to give you the answers, but those would be examples of rewording it. Or in the treaty with the United States government, the Macaw people finished the sentence. So each of those complete sentence and each of these would be a complete sentence quoted with quotation marks and your source. Sources should also be colored red so they stand out when we're using them. It's one way to make sure that you have them. Once you have 3 for each of those, there are more, but you only need 3. Go ahead and request feedback. If you participated correctly and followed directions, this should actually be very simple because you already have a lot of the things highlighted. You just bring them in here and state them in your own words.